Yes, welcome to KKTV again for another very important topic. We are having a countdown to presidential election just coming barely 10 days to election. And there is something which is brewing in Kenya and which has got people worried. And this is a result of IBC purportedly officials coming from the country of Venezuela were intercepted at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, and they were found with election materials, election stickers. And with that, Chebukati came out defending the three Venezuelan that they were employees of Smartmatic and it is local agent Seamless Limited. And this has caused jitters in the election in Kenya, which has made people worrying what is happening with election in Kenya. So we do have many theories regarding to this election. And the big question now comes, is really IBC prepared to conduct a free and fair elections? It has been on the news that actually it looks like they reached a compromise, and we heard the police who were complaining about this, that now they have settled, and I would like you to look at this clip.
I wish to assure Kenyans that NPS is and remains committed to partner and support IBC to conduct and deliver a free, fair, and credible 2022 general election. To date, our respective agencies continue to collaborate and work together harmoniously in the dispatch of election materials from point to point as scheduled. Finally, with regard to investigation revolving around electoral stickers recently imported into the country, I wish to inform Kenyans that the matter has been resolved. Colleague, Chairman IBC, Mr. Chebukati, to make his remarks. Karibu, Chairman.
Good afternoon. I confirm that we held a successful meeting this afternoon between the Commission IBC and the National Police Service, where we discussed a number of issues. As you all know, the National Police Service is a very major partner in the election process. The National Police Service will deploy about 150,000 officers for the election day, before election, during and after elections. This includes officers who will be deployed at the 46,229 polling stations at least.
Now, the funny thing is the IG is very briefy, and the chairman of IBC is not even talking about the Venezuelans. And in the studio, I would like to have one of our political analyst, Ben. Ben, how are you?
I'm good. I'm Biole.
Yeah. So today you listen to that clip where they say that they have compromised about the three Venezuelans who came to the country having IBC materials. What is your take on the way they were talking? They are not talking about them. They said they have resolved it.
Yeah, they are not being honest and straightforward with the people. I think my own opinion is that there's something they are hiding. Yeah. Or they thought they would be able to cover it up so that they don't confuse the entire country. Yeah. But I don't think that is the right way to go. They could have talked about it and say what happened exactly and where, so that we're going to be able to continue to trust the IBC. Because if there's something has happened in the country and everybody look at it, I mean, people know about it. So what they could have done is come open and say, we have been investigated, this is what happened, and trust our institution.
Yeah, but they never said anything in regard to what really transpired, because I think the DCI had put a very strong case. The DCI had put a very strong case, and that these people were neither the employees of Smartmatic or employees of IBC. And how could they carry materials? And now they have just told us that they have resolved it.
It is unclear. I mean, it is half-baked. I think they have to come clean and explain to the audience or the country, as large the people of Kenya, that what happened and what are the investigations they carried out. That's what we call democracy.
Yeah, karibu daktari.
Asante, Dr. Mandi.
I hear you were on the road, but you have made it to the studio. That's okay.
Yeah.
We just started, and we were talking about the current issue where we have been having an issue with the 3 Venezuelans who came to the country, and they were arrested at the airport, whereby the IBC chairman demanded their release. And as he was demanding their release, actually he was issuing threats saying IBC demands the release of Venezuelan responsible for deploying election technology in Kenya. Now the big question is, before we went to the press, I think if you have seen the National Police Service and the IBC came to a compromise that they have resolved the issue without giving us any explanation. What's your take, Dr.
I think the government is playing games, because when we look at some of these things, you see there is no way an opposition candidate in Africa, the opposition has no capacity, let me say that, in terms of resources, in terms of intelligence, in terms of security, to execute some concrete rigging mechanisms without being noticed, because the government has all of the capacity. They have the military, they have the intelligence, they have the police, they have all of the necessary resources to know what is happening in the country.
I need before you go that way.
Yeah.
Are you trying to imply that the 3 Venezuelans are associated with the vice president?
I mean, what I saw earlier on, the implication was that these people the government was somehow trying to make it appear that it was the opposition was planning something in terms of rigging elections, or trying to prepare for a possible electoral irregularity in favor of the opposition. That is what I thought was happening. But again,
I think that's your analysis.
But let me tell you also, we do not have all the facts. But if you can recall, most of the stones against the Venezuelans have been coming from the government side.
Okay.
Even the minister, even the defense minister, I mean, in terms of security.
I want you to listen first. I respect everybody's opinion, but we are here for fact finding. Although even if they say news is verified rumors, but let us assume that was a rumor.
Yes.
3 Venezuelans came all the way from Venezuela. One said that he came from Panama, passed through Turkey. Is it Turkey or Greece? On his way to Kenya. I think he passed through Greece, where purportedly the part of the papers are being printed. And he comes all the way to Nairobi with a luggage, claiming that it's personal belongings. And inside, they find election stickers. Okay? Then they are asked questions. They didn't give right information. Then they were arrested. Now, purportedly they said they came under the invitation of some Abdi Mohammed, who is the owner of a company called Seamless Limited, which is a local partner for Smartmatic. That is what they were saying. But IBC didn't know about it, but all of a sudden IBC called that those are the people who are coming to deploy the technology. It is the big question. We want facts. Kenyans want facts whether this is going to be a free and fair election. And right now, they have said that thing has been resolved. We don't know whether the Venezuelans were deported. They are not telling us whether they were left to come. So what do you expect the Kenyans to do in that before we make our own opinion judgment?
What I think, to me, this kind of drama does not help the system, even the electoral system, because people become suspicious. Because we want information right from the beginning. Even whatever you have narrated, actually that is your own understanding. And whoever said it, you can't verify that all the information you have said is correct.
Well, we got it from
because
the news, so
we get it in pieces. Initially, Kenyans were suspicious, and the government was excited. There was excitement that they have caught some people probably who are connected to the opposition. The way I saw it personally.
Ben, what do you say?
But over time, this thing has remained mysterious. But the opposition remained quiet. Actually, they were not even talking about it, especially.
Yeah, maybe they were scared. Could be that was a sign that they have been intercepted.
But let me tell you, that's why I was telling you that it is not possible for an opposition.
No. Like that, you have done research. You cannot just put a blanket that is not possible.
No, let me tell you one thing.
This is already a vice president.
Dr. Mandi, I'm coming from this idea. To organize, to rig an election, a national general election, especially from the opposition perspective.
By the way, let's say this. Doctor, I have to differ with you and let us put facts. If there is an incumbent running right now, it's Dr. William Ruto. He's the sitting vice president, having a vice presidential motorcade, getting intelligence of the government. So here, let's say we don't have anybody running because there's nobody who's opposition. So if you are trying to paint him as opposition, it's a deep state, Daktari.
Let me say this. When we talk of a deep state, is when you have access to government institutions, and you can use them to advance personal interests or agendas at the expense of the public. That is what the deep state does. But let me tell you, here is a deputy president whose powers, through a presidential executive order, he rose to most of his responsibilities and even the status, even the respect. The president does not even treat him as a deputy president. This is somebody who does not even who doesn't chair the security committee of the country. Even the cabinet, his responsibility was transferred to another office. I mean, Kenyans know that. Okay. We can't just pretend that we don't know what is happening.
Okay, Ben,
we are here to be neutral and look for facts. I talked to a number of people 2-3 days ago, and they were giving me insights about what they think about the deputy president office and what has been transpired all through. I kind of agree with what Professor is saying, that the responsibility of the deputy president was taken out from him. Honestly, he doesn't chair the cabinet. He doesn't even sit in the security. Dr. Just listen, then you hear what I'm saying.
I'm listening.
It doesn't sit in that security. If that's true, because I heard the Ruto talking about it, I don't even sit in the security meetings. But as a deputy president, he's supposed to sit there. But he says those responsibilities were taken out of him and were given to Matiang'i. That one is a fact, right? So when these things comes, that's what we have been talking even in Kisii. The past stops at the president because the president has all powers and all tools to govern the country. That's true like that. If something has happened, don't just say that, oh, it's Ruto's office. No, come out and say, these people from Venezuela, they has been come to the country, this is what happened. Then the country will know exactly what's going on. Be transparent. If it was Ruto, let's say, oh, it was Ruto's activity and this is what has happened, so the people know. But let me say something that somebody mentioned about the systems. They were saying, oh, the systems were ordered by the deputy president and he knows all the courts and stuff. I asked it, are you sure? Because the IPC and the government, they should know this is what is going on. Are they blinded? No. So let's be honest here that the government has to tell Kenyans what's going on. Unless Ruto has got the key and the president.
No. What we want, let us stay focused on the because really we don't know what is wrong with this. What happened with this Venezuelan people? They were not invited by IBC. They were not invited by. They are actually not employees of Smartmatic, as they are saying. And after they interviewed these people, they went to one office and they took some servers, which means the information they had was getting to that office. And they purported this office was where Ruto used to be Ruto's office. So why we wanted them to tell us what they investigated, what they find out. So the fact that he cannot, even if he's not on the government, he could have had a hand, because all along people have been complaining about the chairman Chebukati that is a UDM person. Could it be possible that they were collaborating with the IBC chairman to make the election?
I don't want to conclude on that, but my suspicions are that if the Venezuelans were arrested, they were interrogated, I think the law should have taken this course so that we know the truth. I mean, I don't think that there is too much to find in that situation, but I'm suspecting that the government is mishandling the oral case. It has been mishandled actually, because remember, when they broke into the deputy president's offices, there is impressions. They are sending messages. There is perceptions. People think that, oh, he has been caught. Actually, some were even celebrating that, oh, they have been caught. They have been caught. I mean,
but now,
this drama, let me tell you, Dr. Omandi, this drama is not good for our electoral process. That's what I'm saying. And now when you say, I'm not very updated in what you said, the latest information about the government saying, oh, everything has been sorted out, it is peaceful. But already the damage has been done because the confidence, the people's confidence in the system.
Okay.
Who is trying to fooling the other now?
I wanted, you were not here. There's a clip.
I wish to assure Kenyans that NPS is and remains committed to partner and support IBC to conduct and deliver a free, fair, and credible 2022 general election. To date, our respective agencies continue to collaborate and work together harmoniously in the dispatch of election materials from point to point as scheduled. Finally, with regard to investigation revolving around electoral stickers recently imported into the country, I wish to inform Kenyans that the matter has been resolved. Colleague, Chairman IBC, Mr. Chebukati, to make his remarks. Karibu, Chairman.
I didn't want to play the one because anyway, Chebukati never said anything about them. Don't you see that is a big cover in there?
Let me tell you, that is a victory for Chebukati. That is a victory for the opposition. Because IBC must work in collaboration with the government agencies to secure the electoral process. And when you say, when you want to tell us that 3 people are sneaking in with the materials, where's the intelligence? Where's the government machinery?
Okay.
What I'm saying is, the case was mishandled right from the beginning. I'm not surprised by the way it has ended. I'm not surprised.
No. It has, Daktari. I want you to be fair. You are so opinionated one side.
No,
I want us to look for facts.
Let me tell you,
you are so blinded, Daktari. I thought we would not get to the point because I want us to be objective here.
I'm very. Sometimes I get impatient with the way the Kenyan government wants to.
Okay, wait. Think about it. We our Jared Yonyanja joining us from Kisii. How are you?
Yes, good evening or afternoon, Daktari. I can see you, Dr. Choti and Bernard Muko. Hamjambo.
Jambo.
You were late. I don't know why you forgot the time or what?
Yeah, I know I'm late getting to the system, to the studio, but just because of some 1 or 2 issues we were trying to get in touch with.
Okay.
You know, we must be acquainted with the information we provide to the public.
Yeah.
So that we can mislead.
Tell us about this issue about the 3 Venezuelan and whether Kenya is going to deliver a free and fair election.
I think we may not really read much from what has happened with the presence of the 3 Venezuelans being in Kenya here with the electoral materials. That one really tantamounts and affects the credibility of the elections we expect. The way the matter was handled by the administrative agencies was not good. It doesn't show the seriousness of the Venezuelans being in Kenya with such materials, which are very much important in the forthcoming elections. So far, it has not come to any public domain on what transpired and the aftermath. So it still remains in limbo, whereby most people are still not understanding really what went wrong and how it got finished. We have not heard much from the DCI. We have not much communication from the chairman Chebukati and other agencies. So as Kenyan people, we are still in darkness. We don't understand whether was it a plan of the government or Ruto's plan because they were found in Ruto's office.
Yeah, we don't know for sure. I like that. That is what we want to know exactly. Now, Kenya is a very big country. I mean, the company, Smartmatic, I don't know, Smartmatic is a very complicated name. It's a big company with its headquarters in London, but it was registered in the US and is owned by Venezuelans. I mean, it has conducted many elections. It's a big company. When you check, the company has a revenue of 134 million. 134 million. That's with the employees, 596 employees. And among these employees, we have top management. You can see that is a top management of the company. That the list goes on. Those are the people who are engineers in the company. But the funny thing is that those names, the names which came to Kenya, none is on that list. At least running a country's election like Kenya, and you don't have among the top experts any of them who is in the list come, because those people are not in the list among the 596 employees. There is no name of the 3 people who came. Don't you think in Kenya we need to get surprised about it?
You know, when this matter came out, it was purported by the chairman Chepkati, IBC, that the people who were apprehended were agents of IBC.
Yeah.
And after closer scrutiny, it was realized that they were not anyway connected to the IBC, whatever in Kenya.
Yeah.
And you see, after trying to gather more information, as you've done, it is realized that the people concerned, the apprehended individuals, are not even whatsoever the agents or members of the Smartmatic company, which has procured for election materials in Kenya. So still this one, you know, it does not mean that now this deal is done, because we don't know how many of such dubious activities which are still undergoing in Kenya. We don't know how many have been planted, which are going to be used by William Ruto or any other member of parliament or any governor.
Okay. Ben.
Daktari.
Yes.
Any democratic country or institution, there is a transparency of everything that is done. I don't know whether we are being unfair, but I want to be fair by myself. But if there is a problem in the country, it's the government to give us the details. We can't speculate. Many times I've heard that this was coming from the deputy president's office, or they say this. If there is nobody is above the law, if there is an evidence that this guy has done wrong, let it be open and be known to the country. So that this somebody is just tumbling with the system. We don't want to go there 2007. Be honest here. We want the government to come with the details and tell us what exactly happened.
Okay. Now, I want you to look at that there is what purported to be a Kisimayo cartel and the IBC connection. So that one is what they have linked some people. If you can see, there are people who have been linked to that. That Abdullahi Mohammed,
yes,
Seamless company, if you can see, is connected with this lawyer, Abdullahi lawyer, and one is the CEO of this company in the local market. All of them linked to Michael Pio, who is the IBC director, and Abdi Goliyo, who is a commissioner IBC. They are all related, and I mean we can say that is one of the things which has connected Seamless to some IBC directors, which means they had done it on an inside job. That even some of those commissioners, even the company they hired, they are still having a bond there. That is what information we needed. But generally, do you feel like IBC is going to deliver a free and fair election? Dr.
Let me say this. Kenya has never delivered a free and a fair election. So it is like a gamble. Because the behavior of the government is what concerns me most. And it does not give people the confidence the system is supposed to have, because there is a lot of misinformation, a lot of hiding of information. Like this case, even if we are commenting about it, actually we don't have enough information. We don't have enough information. We don't know the origin of these three people, the objective, who invited them to Kenya, what was their itinerary, who was expecting them at the airport, what exactly were they going to do, who sent them. Their names may not appear in the whatever we are saying, but they can be agents who have been assigned or consultants. But that information is not with us. So let us wait and see.
We have
Probably
111 days to election. Don't you think it's good this election to be postponed?
postponing an election is not very easy. It's not a nice thing to do.
Don't you think it's better to postpone it than to have the election nullified?
No.
Which is more expensive?
I've not seen conditions that could lead to cancellation. I mean, because legally, legally, if people can raise objections, you have reasons, and you go to the court of law, and then you argue your case. Cancellation is not also just something that can just happen through rumors or speculations. No, you must have a Congress.
Hypothetically, after elections.
At this stage where we are, it is not easy to talk about postponement or cancellation, because you can't decide. Nobody can decide on that except the legal system. And how do you do that?
When you see an imminent danger, supposing we conduct elections, Raila Odinga wins the election, and Ruto goes to court, and they will give one evidence that this case was not exhausted. I think the Venezuelan came here and rigged me out, and the court will side with him, and then the election is nullified. Then we go to another election, which is more expensive than postponing an election.
Dr. I think I need to say something here.
Yeah.
We can't jump the gun without knowing the facts. We can't conclude here because there are some things that we are not even don't know what's going on. Remember, Kisi, we were talking 1 week ago that things happened when the IBC had a meeting and somebody just threw the tear gas from somewhere and the meeting was cancelled. We don't know whether we have a returning officer or not. Nobody came back and said this is what happened, transparency and accountability. So here we are talking nationwide, something that we don't want even to go details without facts. What we want to say is this, that people who are going to school and who have lived in a democratic country and open here is that the government should be able to be open to its people and tell us a fact. Where are these guys who came to the country? Where are they as we speak? And what happened?
Okay.
All right? And then we continue. But for now, Dr. is that let's hold our fingers together that the elections are going to be fair. If they are not, then we go to court. The judges will decide.
Matakome said if you don't implement the things Supreme Court said, they will nullify the election. And it will be very expensive for the country. So
remember, Dr. I want to say something here, Dr. Raila Odinga said, we are not going to the elections unless the field is clear. That's where we left before he shook the hands. He didn't come back and say, oh, the field is now clear and everything is good. We are assuming that it's clear. You remember, Dr. where we were 2017?
Yeah.
He said, I'm not going to elections unless everything, the field is clear for everybody, opposition and the government.
Now, let me take you to I don't know where election in Kenya, to me, election in Kenya is supposed to be the most secure election.
Yes.
And I have to give you that chart. The chart clearly demonstrates how election in Kenya is voted. From the polling station, after the polling station, at the polling station with the agents and everybody there, as people are checked in, they vote, the number has to tally when they count the votes. The number of votes has to tally with what the kings have. Then once they get the results, and it seems that in Kenya the only result we are interested is a presidential result, Form 34. So Form 34A, once it is signed, it is transmitted to the National Tallying Center. A copy goes, it is also transmitted directly to the constituency tallying center, to the county tallying center, and to the national tallying center. And after they finish, they take original copies from the polling station to the constituency, to the county, and in the county, they make all of the copies again. And after that, they scan to the national tallying center. So to go and harmonize what was originally transmitted. And then the presidential result is announced. Now, where in the world does somebody change the results? That is a question I've always been having. Where can somebody change the results?
Now, Daktari,
yeah,
as you have explained, electoral process in Kenya looks very good when it comes to reality, when it should be done by justice.
Yeah.
But this is a case whereby when elections are on and voters do their voting process, there are some areas whereby some leaders have got huge support, and not every person turns up to vote. That is the point whereby the polling station's presiding officer and other officers, when they collude, they can now vote for those who did not come to vote.
At the polling station. They can do it at the polling station, right?
Yeah. So that is where the first mess begins from. So the false information, the false tally gets from a given polling station. Look here, Daktari. That is why you found that Dr. William Ruto's lieutenants have once again hatched a plan with several, like 18,000 polling stations, which are not known in Kenya, but are systemized. Why do they get a polling station and not like a county? They don't get a count, but they get a polling station. Polling stations are so many, and that is where the first mess begins from. Because if they have one polling center with over 2,000 votes, just assuming with 18,000 polling stations which are fake, how many votes are those?
No, this is now. I think we have to be very, very clear here. How does Ruto's people come up with these non-existent polling stations? How do they penetrate IBC? I mean,
yeah, that's a good question.
We are talking things here practically which you cannot even explain.
Yeah. How?
Simply because somebody might have said it. I suggest we don't even talk about something that we cannot exactly explain because what is IBC?
Okay.
Can you answer that?
Now, Dr. Choti, this is the genesis of every problem. Like some 3 years ago, there was an arrangement by IBC to employ various officers in various offices, beginning from the constituency returning officers, who are the bosses of elections from a constituency. When you try to check out of the 290 constituency returning officers, a good chunk of the bosses come from the Rift Valley region. Basically, the people where Ruto commands. Dr. Choti, when you come to county level, the county returning officer, remember
Hello?
County returning officer.
Hello?
Do you get me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, in a case whereby there are some fake polling stations, these fake polling stations are much well known by various constituency returning officers. So the fake polling stations will be relaying information, fake votes to the constituency returning officer. The returning officer from the constituency once again will relay the information to the county returning officer, who will later send the same information to the regional returning officer, who could be again challenging.
No, Jared, we would want to know
I think
because
Dr. Mandy, we are going out of control.
No. Let everybody talk. Jared, I don't think you have facts.
Yes.
IBC. If we go to IBC right now website, you can go to every polling station is registered, even your place, and pull form 34A of 2017 election, and you will get that form right there. It will be there because let me tell you, I pulled a form from I think that's you are local. You, as we are doing here, I've pulled a form 34 for last election, and I would like to show it here. You see that form. Once after they have counted that is your polling station. I know you are local polling station. You can even see the names of even the agents who have signed there. Once it is signed, they take a scan on it, and it goes to the National Tallying Center, to Constituency Center, and to county place. Now, this is something you get a website. Give us a polling station which is fake, which is in IBC website, that tell us there is no polling station existing here, without just putting there. Can you give us a name of a polling station so that we check whether it's in the IBC? Because
I think that
I think.
Ben, you are talking.
You asked Jared a question, right?
Yeah, Jared. Can you give us a specific polling station?
Okay.
It's fake.
If you remember, Dr. some few months ago, there was what we call voter register cleanup. Okay, this was something which was called for by the Azimio members, and there was kind of lack of understanding and the acceptance from IBC Chebukati. But later, the exercise was conducted, and that was when 18,000 polling stations were found illegally.
Well, I don't.
So if you want me to give you the names,
yeah.
So let's keep discussing as I get the details, and I'll give you the names.
All right. Okay. Give us the names.
Okay. The big question we have to talk about, which we can, and I think which Jared said is about 19 out of 47 counties returning officers are from one tribe. How is that possible?
Dr. Mandi, I think I want to believe that Kenyans are not fools. I want to believe that when it comes to the structures and the hiring of staff in IBC, every opposition party has a right to ensure that everything is balanced. For instance, if it's a fact that there are illegal polling stations which don't exist, and then we do not have an election. So you can't tell me that Daira and Uhuru, they can all see all those things and say, oh, hallelujah, let's go to the elections. I mean, even if it's one polling station which is just there, which is not existing, and somebody wanted to use it to rig an election, and then you tell me we are campaigning, what are we talking about? So what I'm seeing are are what we call conspiracy theories, like what the people of Trump have been propagating in this country.
Yeah.
So people believe that even now we have some Republicans who believe that tomorrow Trump is going back to the State House. People say things that they think is a reality, but it is not there. Because you can't tell me, my friend, that we have such a system where we have half of the employees are from one tribe, and then we keep quiet and move forward to an election. What is that now? How did it come? How did it come to that? How did we come to that point? There's nobody to question that.
Well, maybe they didn't know. So that is the list from IBC. It's official. I mean, it's not. That is the list. 19 of the returning officers are from one tribe. That's a fact.
Dr. Can I ask you a question? A very quick question. Who is responsible for recruitment of IPC officers?
I think the CEO of IBC.
Yeah. Then why is that he's coming from central or certain area? Let me say this. The government and IPC, they are independent and they are supposed to deliver fair and equitable elections in Kenya. That's their responsibility. Like now, Raila used to say that people died, came and voted and they went back. Those things were clear. Now, if there is an issue of employment, I think IPC should answer why. But there's no reason why somebody is going to be given from one area unless IPC answers that question. Don't say that the Ruto or Ruto's office came there and the recruitment was done. That's the government's responsibility.
So basically, what we are saying.
Basically, what I'm trying to say, Dr. is these hiccups. Even Kisi, I think that's why they were chasing that guy from there. Let the government come out clearly and give us the information that we need so that they can be able even to talk.
But don't you think one of the things we don't have in Kenya, which might be a stigma, and I need to be corrected?
Yes.
Because the fact is that somebody from a tribe, if he's really a patriotic nationalist, why would it matter? Because he's only doing his duty, and if it's a mistake, he goes to court. I mean, we conduct the election here. I've been an election judge for many years in this country. I mean, the responsibility is on your hands if anything happens. Because they will tell you if there is something wrong, you have to call the office right there and have it solved, written down, documented. Why would we just feel like because somebody's from my tribe and I'm the official YBC that I will do something wrong?
Now you are talking.
How can we come out of it so that, because we already diva when we are in an election. You go to the office, you don't mind who is in office, whether it's a Kalenjin, it's a Kikuyu. But when it comes to election, then now comes a different story.
Let me tell you, Dr. Mandi, this is what I think I agree with you. What matters are institutions, not even the people, where the tribe people come from. Because if at the polling station, you announce the results, and they are documented, and you scan the forms, you send them through the system, and then you make copies, and then you keep the originals and take them to the right place. It doesn't matter whether they are in the hands of a Kalenjin, or a Luo, or a Muluya. I don't understand this.
Would we be having a Trump moment? We have been having these conspiracy theories in Kenya.
Yes, which are not there. They are not there.
Now you are talking.
Because,
Dr. We can't be able to talk to rumors and unsubstantiated theories here with no reason. Like now somebody saying, the machine, Ruto made a machine, a computer. If you want vote for Raila, it is 1. Vote for Ruto, it's 10. That is not substantiated, and that's misleading Kenyans. What we are saying is,
I think we give Ruto too much powers that he doesn't have.
Yes, unnecessary.
Ruto is the only thing I know the only thing, the only advantage Ruto has is that Uhuru has mismanaged Raila for him. Just that.
Well, that's your opinion too. Jared, what do you say? You know, you are from Kenya. We feel strongly that, you know, we went through this with the Trump here, where Trump has been saying that he won election. And I think in Kenya, we have that crowd of people just coming up with imagining things out.
Yeah, imaginary things.
You know, Daktari,
Yes.
when you listen to Ruto saying that tumejipanga, Ruto is a man who started this kujipanga program very early. In as much as you will dispute that these coming elections may not be as free as we expect. Why? The way the government has gone quiet with the servers which were found in Ruto's office. This can symptomize like also Raila's team has got its own servers which have not been realized somewhere. Because had it been really, these servers have been found in Ruto's office, I would have had Junet speaking very loudly and bitter about the same. But not they have, because they know they have already dismantled Ruto's plans. So they are quiet because their plan is also well and is going to hatch.
Well, we can say that that is unverified rumors.
Yeah.
Because actually, let us try to separate the fiction rumors from unverified rumors.
Jared, don't go that direction.
But actually, as we have to say as a nation, I thought Mutiambai and Chebukati could have been more elaborate to Kenyans. They only gave a very brief statement and they said no questions. Even if the press were not asking. So it leaves a lot. And this speculation, you know, this is what brings people to start rumoring, to start speculating. They could have told us exactly what happened to those people, what they find out. Because this company, Smartmatic, did not confirm whether those three were the employees. They went quiet too. So there is something shrewd and immensely, and that one can be a reason why people can go fighting. So I think our visuals need to be more open.
Jared, can I remind you something Ruto said sometimes back? He said when 2002, they were seated in a state house and they thought that some miracle coming and they were waiting for Moi to do something. Yes. Now this is what is happening to a Kenyan's mind and other people, that Ruto is so powerful that they can be able to manipulate and do something. Let's be open and let the voting go on. Again, he said, you know, this time, he said, even if Sobul going to be in charge of IPC, I don't mind. Me, I'm just want the people to vote. Why can't we give the guy a chance? Let's go vote and see. You know, let's be fair here.
Okay, let me tell you, the argument Ruto has a good argument. Even if it is your mother,
yes,
the returning officer.
Yeah.
So long as the institutions and the structures are working, there's nothing you can do.
Don't be thinking about creating other qualifications which are not given them.
Yeah.
Dr. Choti, you are speaking of institutions.
Yeah.
Kenya is still a third world country. The behaviors of leaders who are in offices are not honestly connected to what they are expected to do. So in as much as you are trying to, like, you are against my sentiments, when I try to walk around, I meet Kenyans, we discuss and share. Most of them have got a lot of fear. Like, Ruto, Ruto might be having a plan. You see? That is what is in the minds of most people here now.
Now, Jared, let me tell you, Ruto is a very smart communicator. and he can be very manipulative. When he says that do I look like somebody who can just
who can lose an election? No, let us say the truth. If you are going to war, do you go to war already? You have to execute the confidence to intimidate your opponent.
Those he knows the impact of those kind of statements on the people. You fear him. People panic around. Even today, I saw him saying, "Oh, Raila feared to come for the debate. Aliingia kichakani." Yeah. You know that is how you play with the psychology of the people. But in reality, it is not simple. It's not easy to plan mechanisms to rig an election, especially from the opposition point of view. It is not just easy like that.
I know. I don't know why you always, Daktari, want to say that.
You know why? Let me tell you, Dr. Mann, why I'm saying that.
You are so obsessed with Ruto being in opposition. Ruto
let me tell you one thing. Let us agree that Raila was.
And unless we change the meaning of
Raila, let me tell you, Dr. Mandi. Raila was incorporated in the government, and he was adopted as the government presidential candidate. Ruto, the system threw him out. He's not a candidate of the system. The deep state is not on the Ruto's side. When you are a government candidate, you enjoy the status of incumbency. I mean, that you are in the system.
But we have seen.
But now, Ruto is completely locked out.
Let me tell you.
And then the opposition.
Actually, I want you to summarize too.
Let me finish. The opposition
adopted
him.
Okay, our time is over. Anyway, we have to stop there. I wanted us to talk about it's related the chaos in Kisii where they were demanding some election officials to be removed. And even some are speculating that if the chaos goes on in Kisii, then the Kisii County election will be postponed. Jared, what is the state from Kisii right now on the same note?
Yeah, Daktari, as I earlier said, it has been realized that some IEBC officials are colluding with various aspirants. Mm-hmm. Like the other day, there was great war at Samenta Lodge, whereby some IEBC officials went against their oath of office. You know, Daktari, this is a case whereby, like recruitment of clerks who are going to conduct elections from various polling stations was to be very fair, because first was to apply online and then could be shortlisted, then called for an interview. But this is a case whereby those ones who applied, some of them were never shortlisted and were never interviewed. So for those who never applied, now were given the job. And when they were trying to check out, they found that the people who have been given the job, they come from a given range of a community or a village.
Okay.
So it shows like there are some politicians who colluded with the officers of IBC and recruited some people from a given area. Not only in that place, also some places like there are some places in Western, it happened the same. So for Kisii, of course, elections may not be postponed, but there is kind of war in this, especially in the governorship competitions.
Okay. Well, our time is over, but I wanted to. There's a case I wanted to tell you, Dr. Joti. In Botswana, the president was against his vice president, and they fought seriously. He was supporting another candidate, but the vice president still won the election. So it's not that it's not possible, and it is not that we are talking about being opposition. And I would say that Kenya, where we have reached now, we are looking at the two individuals, the two tickets, what they represent. And I only see the only problem will be IBC. If IBC will do their job, I think we are going to have a peaceful, free and fair election. Smartmatic,
Yeah.
thank you very much. Our time is...
I think, Dr. Thank you so much. We are going to meet before election, I think next week. Let's find our facts together. I want to say that be fair to everybody. If there is a fact that we need to know, Jared, there is a fake, so that Kenyans can know that it's a fake agency here, or a polling station that it's not unleashed.
Yeah,
so that's our responsibility. Yeah. And those who are in Minnesota, I want to announce that on Saturday there is a passports. I want to, if you apply for a new passport, you want a new passport, KCC in Minnesota on Sabbath. That's on 6th on this month. For those who are listening, you can come and get your passport if you have not renewed your passport or a new passport in Minnesota. KCC in Minnesota on Saturday. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone, and have a nice week.
Yeah. Okay, see you next week again.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank you.